Hey folks, this is Rob with MTG Investor, and I'm kicking off this new series that I talked about in my last video. I was going to call it What I've Bought This Week, but there are times where I go a week without buying anything or trading for anything. So I'm going to instead call it What I've Bought Recently. And I'm actually going to backdate this a little bit and going to basically roll December, January, February, and March. All into one. I'm going to end basically at the 1st of April. And then the month of April, I'm going to roll that in. I don't think I'm going to do it on a weekly basis. I think I'm going to try to do it on bi-weekly, so 2 weeks, or on a monthly basis, because things are going to clog up what I do on a weekly basis. For instance, Modern Masters is coming out in less than a month, and that's going to tie up quite a bit of my money. I'm going to probably sink quite a bit into booster boxes, and so that's going to chew up a lot of what I would normally spend on a monthly basis. But let's get going. One of the first cards I scooped up when Fate Reforged was spoiled was Crux of Fate. When that was spoiled, it was just a very cheap card for some reason, and when I saw Black Wrath come out in Standard, I don't do a lot of Standard plays, but this is one that I did. I immediately scooped up several playsets. You could get them for, I want to say, around $7.50 a playset. Maybe it was a little cheaper. Where did I write those down? Oh, $5.50 for playset on eBay. So eBay was pre-selling them for $5.50 for a playset set of 4, and so I scooped up several of them because I was like, this card's going to go up in the. Sometimes you just know, sometimes you don't. I'm not really great with standard evaluation, but this one was a no-brainer to me, especially when Blue-Black was already a deck, and then you add in the fact that you get a Black Wrath. I was like, this is a no-brainer. So anyway, that was a short play. I don't do a whole lot of those, but got those for $5.50. Those shot up to 6 or 7, 5, 6, 7 a piece, and I sold those. I kept a playset for me, but sold the rest off as soon as there was money to be made off them. Next card that I picked up, and this was earlier, probably in December, which is Foil Become Immense, which was in my Modern Top 25 list, and really like that card. I actually picked up 2 foil playsets and a couple extra regular playsets just to hold on to. Because I like to play Modern, and I figured, they're only 25 cents each. Might as well have a few extra play sets around to put in if I have multiple decks that are going to require them. But anyway, I got a couple full play sets. I got those really cheap back in, when was this? This was probably December also. Those were initially just $2 each. I might have got those off Star City Games back when they were just a couple bucks each. I have some credit with Star City. Anyway, those were like $2 a pop, and I actually picked up the other playset a little bit later after they started moving up, and those were like $4 a pop, so like 16 a playset when I got those. I think they're like 6 or 7 right now a piece, so that's I'm good, but I'm gonna hold on that. As if you watch my Modern video, you'll see why. Another thing that I picked up, probably in January, I think, was Foil Generator Servant. And I got these pretty dirt cheap. I got them $6 for a playset. And they weren't really getting played. They were played here and there. But it just is one of those cards that if some deck comes along can somehow abuse that card, then it's a good buy. But getting them for like basically $1.50 each on the foils seemed like a decent risk. They may not ever pan out, but and I'm not suggesting that's a good pick. I'm just, every now and then I see some cards that I think, this has potential to get busted, so I'm going to go ahead and pick them up. Let's see, what's next? Glistener Elf, which I talked about in my Modern Top 25. Full playset of Glistener Elf, and I got those for around 16, I believe it was, for the playset of foils. So got those. That was back in January, February, somewhere in there. All right, next card I picked up was Foil Monastery Swiftspear, and I got those back in December on Christmas break. I had a little extra time, so I was actually doing some auction on eBay, picking those up on bids versus buy it now, which is what I prefer to do. But anyway, the price on the bids was quite a substantially better than the buy it now. So I was able to get those for about $12.50 a pop, somewhere in that range, $12 to $13-14 range. And those had shot up actually, and then after the banning of Dig Through Time and Treasure Cruise in Modern, they fell back down. I think they're around 13 or 14 right now. But if you watch my Modern Top 25, I'm high on that card, so I don't have any problem with that. I actually picked up 6 of them. I was just firing off, max bids and whatever I hit, I probably put bids on 20 cards and wind up getting 6 of them at good prices. Next is Torrent Elemental, and that's kind of coming out of left field. When I saw Torrent Elemental, I liked that card a lot, and the reason why I liked it was I liked it in standard. I thought it was going to be a decent card in standard, which I missed on. It's getting played, but it's just not getting the play that it deserves. Or not necessarily that it deserves, but I like the card. Anyway, I picked this up as a long-term flyer, and it may turn out to be a bust, but I like this card in somehow. I was hoping this would somehow see some play in Legacy. I think there's a deck out there that somehow could be thrown together with it. If not, oh well, not a big deal. I did overpay for these, honestly. I like to admit when I make mistakes, and this is one where I made a mistake on. Overpaid for these guys, like $5 a pop pre-order. Normally I don't like pre-orders, but I thought this card was going to be a $12 to $13 card in standard. And I thought maybe I could move them then. And if not, I liked them in Legacy. And because another card that I was buying is Mist Hollow Griffin. And so we'll talk about that one next, or right now actually. Mist Hollow Griffin, I picked up some playsets for $4 for the playsets, so $1 each. I picked up several. And Mist Hollow Griffin actually does show up every now and then. There's a Legacy deck that pops up every now and then with Mist Hollow Griffin, and it's a little combo deck, and you just basically can go infinite. But I like Mist Hollow Griffin as a pitch card for Force of Will, and I thought maybe Torrent Elemental could be like a 2-of in that deck, so you could have 6 cards that you could pitch with Force of Will, and then you could cast them from exile. So Force Will, you lose value, you lose card advantage. But if you're pitching Torrent Elemental or Mist Hollow, you're not losing anything. You're basically getting you're basically paying 1 life for a counter spell, and that's pretty good. So it may never develop. This is one of those two cards, Mist Hollow and Torrent Elemental, that I see and I think, oh, there's a way that this card can be used if other cards get printed. Decks can be made with this, and maybe those cards will never get printed, and maybe those two, Mist Hollow and Torrent Elemental, will never be anything ever in Legacy. But for $1 each on Mist Hollow, it's not really going to lose value, I don't think. So Torrent Elemental, though, I've eaten some on that, but oh well, that's the way life goes. Can't win them all. Okay, the next card on my list is Sliver Hive Lord. If you watch my Modern Top 25, you also saw me stick that in there. Even though it's not played really in Modern, it's a EDH pick, and I wanted to get out there. I picked up some. When Sliver Hive Lord came out, I immediately liked it, and I immediately knew it was going to be a card that I was going to grab for future for EDH. But it was a little overpriced when it came out, and I wanted to sit on it. I wanted to wait and let the price come down a little bit because people were real excited about it as kind of a commander. So the price really didn't fall that much, and so I had to just go ahead and buy. It didn't come down to where I was hoping it would come down to. Anyway, I got mine for $7.50 a piece, $30 for the playset, and I just got one playset. I wish I had. I'm really thinking about getting some more of those, but anyway, I picked those up somewhere around February-ish, I think. Snapcaster Mage, I have bought singles of those since like the last year. I've been buying just singles, anywhere from price range over the last year, probably year and a half, yeah, year and a half, 2 years. Back when I could still get them for like 25-ish. I bought them. I bought some when they were around 30-ish, and I bought some not too long ago in March for 34. I think I got them for 34. The last ones. Let's see here. Yeah, $34 on the last ones. Because I still, I think that is a great card. It's going to go up. I'm not going to put too much money because it's already, $34 is probably the most I want to spend. I don't think it's a bad pickup at $35 right now, but I just would rather put my money in some other things right now. Okay, next is basically Return to Ravnica Shocklands. Steam Vents would be a primary card to grab. But basically any of them, any of the black ones, any of the blue ones, the green ones do pretty well. So just whatever. I mean, they're all good. Just whatever I could get my hands on. I would snipe some on eBay. Whatever I could put in. I like to put in like a low ball bid, and if it hits, it hits. But if it doesn't, it doesn't. And maybe I can steal some cards on eBay that way. When I've been out trading, anytime I can get those in a trade, I do. Anyway, just any and all of the Return to Ravnica lands I could get, shock lands I could get my hands on. Next is Sulphur Falls, which I talked about in my Modern Top 25. The Innistrad lands, and Sulphur Falls specifically was the one that I wanted to really focus on. I think that one has the best potential. So I got a bunch of those. I was getting those at $6 a pop back, December, January in there. I think they're moved up. I'm not getting them recently. I just got them back then. Next card, Supreme Verdict. I started buying some Supreme Verdicts back in about February. And you could really get those dirt cheap. I mean, you can get those, could have got those for $2, $3. I've actually bought some Supreme Verdicts just, a couple weeks ago, I believe, maybe it's been 3 weeks ago now. I bought some Supreme Verdicts on eBay, and they were still pretty cheap. I think I got those for $12, it looks like. So they were still pretty cheap, and I think that's a good one to hang on to. Next is foil Swan Song. Swan Songs get played in sideboards and Legacy as one or twos of. And so I think the foil ones are good investments. I just picked up like, let's see, it looks like I got 3 of them. I was just buying singles on eBay on those too. And it looks like I got them right at $6 a piece. So those are kind of hang on to. I don't think those are going to drop in price. I think they're going to at least stay at $6. Siege Rhino. Siege Rhino is at about $5.50 right now, something like that. And all my pricing is like eBay pricing or like what you should find on Channel Fireball or SEG or something like that. So eBay is my main price source because it's a true market for Magic cards. Anyway, Siege Rhino is about $5.50. There was a time where you could get Siege Rhinos for $3 several months ago. So I saw that it was showing up in Legacy. I mean, not Legacy, in Modern. I was a little surprised that it got played in Modern. But I saw it. I was like, that's interesting. And I saw it show up again and again, and now you see Abzan played in Modern. It's a pretty standard deck in Modern right now. So I was like, I better get on these if it's getting played in Modern. When you could still get them for $3. So I picked up quite a few of those at $3, and so they're already almost doubled. That's pretty good. Eidolon of the Great Revel. Love this card. Picked up a couple play sets of those to hold on to. And what did I get my Eidolons for? I had to pay for my Eidolons. I was hoping they would come down in price, but they really haven't come down in price. Yeah, I got Eidolon for $7 a pop. I bought a bunch of singles of those. It looks like I have 6 or 7 of those to hang on to. I probably need to finish off that playset, get an 8th one. But I got those at $7. I was hoping that I could get them cheaper, but they started moving up a little bit. It's like almost $10 on Eidolon, so that's pretty crazy, and that's just going to continue to go up. That's a future Modern Masters pick right there. Another card that you've heard me talk about a lot is Dig Through Time, and I've picked up several playsets of those. Actually, I'm going to pick up some more of those here shortly, so you'll hear about that in a future video of this series. Because they're like $5 right now. They're so dirt cheap, and they're played like standard 4-ofs in several legacy decks, and played in. I mean, that's like a no-brainer to me. And then lastly, of course, Khans of Tarkir, fetch lands, and onslaught ones. But specifically, I was just picking up Khans ones from December, January, February, March. And as you heard me mention, and if you watched my Modern Top 25 finale video, that I'm picking up onslaughts now that they're just dirt cheap right now. So if I am willing to let go of money that I have saved, then I'm gonna, right now is a crazy time period. We got Modern Masters coming out, which I'm probably gonna get at least 4 cases of that, and then I want to pick up fetch land. I'm just so hardcore trying to pick up fetch lands right now, and Dig Through Times and Tassigurs. Fetch lands, Dig Through Times, Tassigurs, and then we got Modern Masters, and then I have no clue what Origins is going to be like. Is that going to be a good set? And then we got freaking we have Zendikar coming in the fall. Like, this is going to be the most expensive year for Magic ever, it seems like. So anyway, next video I'm going to cover the things that I bought in April, and then probably the next video after that I'm going to cover the things I bought in May. And then I'll talk about Modern Masters in my Modern Masters series, which I need to get up and running hopefully this week. By this coming weekend, hopefully I'll have something out on that. Alright, so thanks for watching, guys. I've been Rob with MTG Investor. Just giving you an idea. A lot of those cards on my Modern Top 25 list were things that I bought December, January, February, March. So, putting my money where my mouth is, basically. These are the things that I'm buying straight up. Honest truth. So, anyway, this is Rob. Peace out, guys. And I'm going to be at the SCG in, it's called Dallas, Texas, but it's actually in Fort Worth at the convention center. I'm going to be there May 16th, but definitely May 17th. I'm not sure if I'll be there on the 16th, this Saturday, but I'll be there on the 17th. If you are going to be there, give me a shout and say hi, and be nice to meet you. Peace out, guys. Happy trading.